It's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Dr. Obiajulu, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Excellent morning.
How's your
ladies.
weekend?
Weekend was fine. Friday, after work in the evening, I had a friend who was celebrating her birthday party. So I went with Olga and the little girl in the house. We had a good time there. Then Saturday, my senior kids were doing their own inter-house sports because they are in different campuses. So I had to go to the school. There was no field, so it was actually a parent who carpooled some of us. And we went down to, yes, really smart. And she was lovely. I just met her in Kaima's own inter-house sport. And then we started talking and got to find out that her own kid was also in my son's class.
Coincidence?
And that's how we carpooled and went. It was fun. We had lots to eat. We bought for the kids. And we came back home. My daughter followed me home. She wanted to come and sleep at home. And then she left this morning. So it was a good family weekend. Yeah, it was good, yeah.
Laja, Nima Akashat.
Yeah,
how are you?
Give us.
So my son, that was at Jebota, has now become very, very Nigerian. So when we bathe him in the morning and get ready, all of us, all three of us at home now, we have this banter we do at the bathroom. And my husband was, chatting with him. I was like, Imran, okay, he had said something about men not seeing women's privacy. Telling his dad not to look at my privacy.
It won't.
And I was like, Imran, even the doctors, when I had you, saw my privacy, and I was shouting for help. So the father then joined and said, even me too, when I gave birth to you, the boy was like, they whine.
Are you for real?
I'm telling you, we laughed all the way to the train station this morning. Because nobody can you cannot picture Imran and you they whine. They're totally two separate people. But the boy has picked up
has learned some
from
things.
playing football with his friends and it's a different breath of fresh air around Imran. To see that I wanted some
Finally.
Imran and some.
And you have one now.
Yes, I have one.
No problem.
I'm looking for my child. My child is very Nigerian. My last son. He has refused to be touched in any shape or fashion.
Don't worry.
He's a core Nigerian. When he's talking like a Nigerian. I am hungry. Want food.
That reminds me too of my son. You come, you say January. Like, where did he hear? I was like, this Edo blood is so strong. Like, where did you? But now, the phone is not easy. So we are growing up. We are, So the other day my sister was like, she went to go and pick him up, and then she heard some girl saying, "Oh my God, Foge is so cute." She was like, "Oh." Then she greeted that girl 5 times.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I also need to give a shout out to a lovely lady, Miss Eunice Agedo. She sent me chocolates. She heard that I had said I was craving chocolate. That was a while back. Yes, a while back. And she sent me chocolates. And the trouble that she went in making sure I got the chocolates, it was just so lovely. Thank you so, so very much. I mean, our viewers are so kind and so lovely.
So kind.
Thank you so much.
Okay, can I quickly say happy birthday to my school son from secondary school, my senior at the back. Happy birthday, Oladito. May Allah bless you. Many more fruitful years. May God bless you. He's not a Muslim.
How was your weekend?
No, my weekend wasn't bad at all. Yesterday.
Did you do church?
I didn't go to church because I had a pump.
Sorry. No.
Mommy Gio. How can we be praising God and you are going to party? I'm praising God where I am too.
Mommy Gio, I'm
I went for an event and it was really nice. It was a birthday party, organized boat cruise, went for lots to eat, dancing.
I think I saw
party.
that.
Yeah. I didn't post anything because as usual I'm very bad.
No, I saw your story. I think I saw it.
Okay, I think
you were wearing white.
Somebody has posted. Yeah, so I'll try to post something today, but yeah, it was nice. Saturday too. I think I had some events, so it was all good.
There's a way you dressed. I don't know you dressed when we were on our retreats. I really like that dress. I would like you to do with the scarf and the
everybody loved
so
the outfit. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody to send it to me. All right, let's go on a short break now. It's Monday. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Government begins disbursement of 50 billion naira grants to small firms. Banks await CBN's decision on submitted recapitalization plans. Southeast Development Commission will address 50 years of neglect, says Kalu. Why UK stopped students from bringing families by envoy. Vice President Shettima in Texas for US Africa Business Summit. Zenith Bank's gross 781 billion in first quarter. Edu charting course for fiscal stability, economic prosperity, and Lagos government reassures residents of their safety. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Let's start with banks and their recapitalization. Yes, so the Central Bank of Nigeria is currently scrutinizing recapitalization plans of banks with a view to determining the appropriateness of their plans in line with the overall objectives, timelines, and general market dynamics. The Apex Bank had given banks up till April 30, 2024 to submit their recapitalization plans, which should detail step-by-step activities, transactional details, instruments, and other options for meeting the new minimum capital base for their respective license category. The plans cover the 2-year compliance period, which is ending March 31, 2026. And according to different sources, they are confirming the Apex Bank has started extensive reviews of the recapitalization plans submitted by the banks, and also an evaluation process, that will determine whether the banks can ratify or call for clarifications and supplementary plans from their affected banks. So the CBN recapitalization framework gives bank 3 broad options of injection of new equity capital, mergers and acquisitions, and upgrade or downgrade of license authorization. So in the following weeks, we'll see how some of these banks will be able to, pull funds together if they need to, and then increase their capital base to get to the threshold that the CBN had given them.
Okay, do you want to go? Okay. Only international students studying for their PhD can go with their dependents to the United Kingdom. This is the British High Commissioner, Dr. Richard Montgomery. He said this yesterday when he was speaking with the news agency of Nigeria, NAN, in Abuja. And, he gave reasons why. And I'll just read the figures that he gave out because he says it's important that you understand why the UK is doing this. He says that, of course, when people come to study, they come with their dependents, and it's quite and when they do come with their dependents, it's affecting the population, and so many things that people use in the UK, like their health sector and so many other things, there's quite a lot of stress on it. Accommodations also with the universities, there's a lot of stress. So this was a long time, coming. And he explained, he says, the wider audience needs to hear that the demand for UK education is really strong. In 2022, 65,000 student visas was approved to Nigerian applicants, 65,000, while in September 2023, we received about 115,000 study visa applications from Nigeria, of which 95% were approved, and over 110,000 study visas were issued last September compared to the 65 the previous year. So he says he is happy and proud that, the United Kingdom, they have one of the best educational system in the world. They have 17 out of 100, the 100 best universities, in the UK. So they love the demand, but definitely when coming with dependents, it puts pressure on their country and so many of the infrastructure and services that they provide. And so that's why they're limiting it now to those who are doing like a longer degree course or longer
PhD.
Study course like the PhD. So it's not, we don't like Nigerians,
It's just we need to protect ourselves
yes,
first.
it's not sustainable for us to have everyone come to our country.
All right, so
With
go
their
ahead.
fault. Can I take major headlines? Since we
Yes.
too, we are focusing on our people. So this, the Minister for Trade and Investment, I hope I got her ministry. Minister for Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite, confirmed that the federal government has started disbursing 50,000 naira grant to nano businesses, targeting 1 million businesses across businesses across the 774 local government areas of the country. And they said that already 200,000 of these small businesses, business owners have already received their 50,000. They received an application of about 3.6 million businesses in total, from where they picked, and downsized to 1 million. So they've given about 200,000 of them, and they're looking at finishing up the remaining 800,000 businesses by the 31st of May, which will close that period. Also, the minister said that there's a 50 billion available in the 2024 budget for this purpose. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has also directed that manufacturers be given $1 billion single-digit interest loan. 75 manufacturing firms across the country will be given $1 billion single-digit interest loan to help reflate their business. This I'm happy about because, it will increase employment, you increase money flow and all of that, and businesses will pick up again. Nigerians have been talking about the hardship, but this was initiated by the president after the removal of subsidy to help businesses. And this is a
I'm happy that they're doing this because I thought it was almost as if you just said all these things last year and nothing was being done. So I'm happy that they're doing
They're already doing it. So.
Vice President Kasim Shettima is in Dallas, Texas. He's representing our president at the U.S.-Africa Business Summit to be hosted by corporate councils in Africa and in the U.S. So he will be joining other political and business leaders from Africa and the U.S., amongst others. And the meeting African leaders from Liberia, Malawi, Angola, so many other countries, Botswana, and also U.S., of course. According to the statement by the Special Advisor on Media and Communications, Stanley Nkocha, said Shettima is billed to speak at the various sessions. It's also going to be chairing a few other sessions that is Invest in Africa, Invest in Nigeria specifically, and attend other meetings and engagements on the sidelines of the summit. So it's part of the efforts to get investors to come into Nigeria. Moving on quickly now to the Punch. Lagos-Calabar Highway, telcos fear shutdown as construction threatens cables. NDLEA seizes 4,752 kg cannabis concealed in Abuja gas tanker. Foreign scholars lament 11-month unpaid allowances and face rejection. 80% of Lekki buildings have no approval, says Lagos State government. Major marketers demand more fuel as depot stock drops. Abductions, detentions, echoes of Abacha-era media clampdown resound under Tinubu. Dangote, Unilever, 5 others cut 1,281 jobs in 1 year, says reports. Tinubu to get ministers' Q1 assessment report, and 9 banks earmarked 383 billion naira for legal dispute claims. Okay, which story?
NDLEA, so operatives of NDLEA said they have intercepted 511 jumbo sacks of cannabis sativa weighing 4,752 kilograms. It was concealed in a gas tank compartment of a truck along the Abuja highway. They said that they were on a stop and search operation along the Abuja Abaji highway on Wednesday, May 1st, when this was intercepted, and they found the consignment. You know, so I'm a bit curious if it was just a random stop and search, or if it was based on intelligence. If it was random, I mean, what great luck. So the people who were involved, 4 suspects: Efe Abel Mikel, 39, Ebigide Cyril, 29, AJC Monday, 41, and Friday Benson Chukwudi, 39, have been arrested in connection with the seizure. And as you know, they're constantly NDA constantly on their work. So they also say they smashed an international drug syndicate with networks in parts of Nigeria, South Africa, and Thailand. And, no fewer than 5 members of the cartel were arrested in a 2-week intelligence-led operations, and so many other operations that they're doing across the country. But this particular one that I just read at first, they have the pictures of those who were intercepted. And look at the bags and bags. It's as if it's gone. Bags and bags of drugs.
Let's go on a short break now. We'll come back and continue with our reviews. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the papers. I have Punch. Let me take that very quickly. So, Nigerians studying abroad on scholarship have complained and lamented the non-payment of their stipends for the past 11 months by the federal government.
Oh, wow.
Many of them are saying that they're stranded. They can't focus on their studies. They have to focus on issues of rent, feeding, upkeep, and all that. Some students in China have not received any stipends since April and May. So, according to the BEA scholarship, which is the federal scholarship board under the Federal Ministry of Education, they're trying to reach them to let them know that they need their stipends paid. They also noted that abysmal living conditions in certain countries like Morocco, Venezuela have been terrible. There are no adequate provisions for accommodation, thereby forcing the students to take apartments and pay every month, which is costing them money. So they're having issues with their landlords and stuff like that. So they're a bit stranded. So they're asking that the federal government should please intervene quickly to send in their stipends so that at least they can focus on their
studies.
Yes.
Very important.
It's important.
Major marketers demand more fuel story. According to, an interview with the Executive Secretary of the Major Energies Marketers Association of Nigeria, Clement Isong, he said that all these depots and filling stations are currently dealing with the fuel queues we have, and they are operating from the bottom of their reservoirs, saying that the NNPC and the NMDPRA, as a former DPR, has to do more to clear this. The NNPC and the NMDPR said that they have about 4,000 petrol trucks spreading around the country last week trying to clear the issue. According to their Southwest Regional Coordinator of the NMDPR, Ayo Cardoso, he said no fewer than 300 liters of petrol were loaded at various depots in Lagos between Friday and Sunday to reduce the queue. But the major marketers are saying more has to be done. The queue is bad. The situation is worse than we think. And as at this morning, I thought that the queue had reduced. But you still see queue around the station. I had to buy at 650 plus on Friday. So I'm still burning inside my full tank.
On Saturday, my driver left at 4:30 a.m. Did not get back till like 10. So I have another story. Barely 48 hours after MultiChoice alerted subscribers to a 3-day technical downtime, telecommunication companies are expressing concern that there's these connectivity disruptions that may happen as a result of the construction advances on the 700-kilometer Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. DSTV and GoTV owners have acknowledged the anticipated impact of the ongoing Lagos-Calabar construction project on their uplink facilities. Telcos yesterday expressed broader concerns, emphasizing the vital role of telecommunication services and the effect of possible anticipated technical disruption. So they are saying that the coastal road itself, if care is not taken, they may tamper with some of their under cables, and they need to pay attention. So the cables include the West African Cable System, WACS, Main 1, Glow 1, ACE, NCS, CS, and these are vital for international communication and data transmission in the country, and it cuts across other countries. Now, they said they have been asking to have a meeting with the Ministry of Works, headed by David Umahi. He has had meetings with other stakeholders, but he has excluded the telcos, and they are saying we've been calling and asking that we must meet and find ways so that we do not disrupt our telecommunication along those coastal lines. And I think the meeting should be had. So they are very clear on, while they are doing their demolitions for that Lagos-Calabar coastal road.
Daily Sun, Atiku mocks Tinubu, says propaganda can't attract foreign direct investment. Nigeria should apologize to Ndigbo, says Nwayahu. Nigeria-UK trade relations worth 7 billion euros, says Envoy. FG under fire for imposing $300 landing fee, 45% tax hike on chopper operators. EFCC disowns list of ex-governors under probe for graft. Insecurity will engage peace marshals across Southeast, says Kalu. ATM, bank slash withdrawal limits for non-customers. And the Piazza's commissioner debunks allegation of 10 billion naira expenditure on Abia Airport. Story.
Okay, I have the EFCC distance itself from the ex-governor's list. So, according to the head of media and publicity of the EFCC, Dele Oyewale, he says that he describes this list that all of us receive. If you have not received it on WhatsApp, you are not on those WhatsApp groups. So we have all seen this list of 58 governors, ex-governors who are being investigated, who are said to have embezzled 2.18 trillion. And it was carried by recognized news outlets. But he says that this list, he can only describe it as disingenuous fabrication designed to achieve motives known only to the authors and urge the public to ignore the reports, stressing that it was false and misleading. They have removed their body and they are safe. That's all.
Okay. Ohaneze Ndigbo has said that Nigeria should apologize to Ndigbo for hatred, killings, and destruction of the property over the years. The President General of the Apex Igbo Social Cultural Organization was speaking yesterday. He debunked, some audio recordings insinuating that the Igbos were planning to apologize to the Fulani over the killing of Ahmadu Bello back in 1966. He declared that the Igbos owed nobody an apology, stating that never contemplated, intended, or more the converse begged to beg anybody. He said, I don't expect them. He was just going on and on, but pretty much says, but Ohaneze Ndigbo received 100 billion naira as Fulani bribe for a kangaroo apology on behalf of Ndigbo for Eziogu's assassination of Ahmadu Bello was intended to create mistrust and taint on the leadership of Haneze. This is why I took this story, because I remember when I was to the International Women's Leadership, where we heard from Rwanda. My brother said that one of the things that helped them to move the country forward, you have to bring the Hutsis and the Tutsis together. And you had to look somebody who raped your child or raped your mother, and you have to be willing to forgive them. It took them years to get to the point where we must talk, resolve the issues, forgive each other, and then move on forward. So a lot of things are going on, but the truth is that as a nation, sometimes we all need to dig up back and go back and see what got us where we are, and see if we can then begin some kind of reconciliation, national reconciliation, properly, the proper way, not this talk shop they usually do, and then move our country forward.
It's also important for people not to play politics with this past.
Well, that's true.
Some people, instead of love to incite with the past. People who didn't experience it now believe it. They have a vivid image of an account of one person, and so they are unable. It keeps passing generation to generation.
To move. Yeah, so the federal government is currently under fire, yes, for unveiling a new policy that mandates helicopter operators to pay $300 each for landing, for each landing. So the players on their part are kicking against the move. They are describing it as wrong-headed, insensitive, and destructive. The chopper operators, being part of the airline operators of Nigeria, said they are currently bleeding and cannot accommodate further exploitative charges. They hinted of meeting with the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, before deciding on their next line of action. Now, industry experts, on the other hand, are analyzing the new rule and insisting that the policy imposes an unreasonable financial burden on the operators, which would translate to a staggering 127% increase in operational costs, with a tax hike of about 45% on a conservative estimate. And this will now, come back to how they're going to be charging the customers who patronize, and how also is going to be affecting some of the products that they were going to be bringing in as well. So they are saying that they are not able to pay this amount of money. They will have a meeting and now decide on the next course of action.
Okay, the point, scarcity, key marketers close shops as scrambling persists. City Pulse, I started operating my clinic after efforts to study medicine failed, says fake doctor who was nabbed over Osun pregnant woman's death. Obaseki can't oppress me and still get Ighodalo to power, says Philip Shoebu. Yes.
So I have the fake doctor, one Said Oladiti. His hospital is known as the Oloruntoyi Clinic, as the CMG of that hospital.
Chief Medical Director.
Yes, so in Osun State, he was nabbed after a woman he delivered of a baby died. So the woman had been brought by her sister, who he had also delivered. So he had operated for 6 years without a license, with only a wire to himself.
Father in heaven.
Yes. And
has that not after secondary school?
Yes.
That's secondary school.
Just Waeki, secondary school. He's 32 years old. And the NSCDC were interviewing him. The Point also got an exclusive with him where he was appealing that, if he's released, he will never do quackery in his life again.
How about the dead patient?
He said he has never had, he swore with everything he believed in, that he has never had a dead case in his hospital. He said that he also, when he was asked about how he learned to practice, he said he just used to watch people. And he has delivered a lot of pregnant women in his hospital. He charges very minimal, 5,000. He trains also. He trains other medical operators for 5,000 naira. He's now begging that, he has always loved medicine. He would have loved to practice it. He has a very good WAEC result. He would have loved to go to school, but he didn't have the means to go to school. And that he was giving stories of how he approached rich people and nobody who helped him. And so because he wasn't helped, he decided to help himself. But this has happened. And he was asked whether the state health board used to come and supervise, to approve. And he said, what has passed, let's not be talking about that. So meaning that he bribed. Meaning that he bribed. Yes.
Vanguard. That brings up a hot topic, but let's just move on. Vanguard. Local firms, IOCs, to bid for 12 onshore, 7 deep offshore oil blocks. Marketers remain, I wish I had money. Marketers remain upbeat as petrol scarcity enters third week. Minister waits in as condemnation trails FIJ journalist arrest. Multiple checks. FAN, NSA move to reduce security agents at ports. Employers labor angry over unending fuel scarcity. Zenith Bank grows gross earnings by 187%. to 782 billion in Q1. Okay, which story?
Yes, I have the employers labor angry over unending fuel scarcity. So they say private sector employers in Nigeria yesterday decried the unending scarcity of petrol across the country. They said that this ongoing disruption is leading to disruption in businesses across diverse sectors, escalating transportation, logistical bottlenecks, and have progressively led to increased operational costs amongst others. So we have many other stakeholders involved. We have the NLC too, who say that they are shocked that this is still ongoing. NECA is saying first that we expected with the removal of the fuel subsidy that this would not be something that we have to face again, and yet it's ongoing. NLC also said that they would have preferred that this was not happening. It's affecting production, it's affecting productivity, it's affecting productivity. A lot of people are stranded because they're spending many hours being on the queues. So it's basically, all stakeholders lamenting the state of affairs right now, and we're looking to government to see how this can be quickly resolved. Because
can I quickly take
it's painful.
So since we have fans there, Zenith Bank, they're celebrating their unaudited statement.
Why are you taking Zenith Bank? Because our husband is there.
Yes.
I beg, we have to go on a break.
Let's just take it. So they submitted their unaudited statement of account to the Nigerian Exchange Limited, and it shows a growth of 189%. So they made a profit of 320 billion in Q1 2020.
How will this money reach us?
I don't understand. How does it affect Nigeria? How do you even get on front
Madam
page?
Moraya, if you are watching,
That's Moraya Obao.
I'm telling you, she's your namesake. I'm taking it because of her. So if you're watching, how will the money reach us?
Yes, how will it reach us?
Let's go on
And
a
where did you
break.
make the profit from? We have
When
questions.
we come back, we move into our hot topic of the day. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So, over the weekend, one story trended. A comedian and TV presenter, actress also, Wofai Ewa, popularly known as Wofai Fada, released her engagement pictures to Mr. Taiwo Cole, and all hell broke loose when the man's family released a public disclaimer stating that they are not involved in any shape or fashion of the wedding. According to them, the relationship is just about 7 months old. The lady is older than her son, and on top of it all, she's pregnant to his former schoolmates, making statements to how much of a bully he was back in school. So many other things were attached to that, but that's even besides the point. But the conversation this morning is in several folds. The family that we're talking about is the Cole family. They had written a disclaimer concerning the fact that they have nothing to do with the son's wedding to this Wofai Fada lady. Now, there were various issues raised. Issue of age. Initially, they said that he's 30 and she's 38. Issue of the fact that there was no consent from the family, because he was saying that he, as a father and family, head of the family, did not receive any information concerning the wife who they were planning to marry. Thirdly, he was summoned by the palace on the fact that one of their sons was getting married without anybody knowing. So, and people are now saying that these are two adults who have decided to marry. Must they go through the family procedure? And what are the real issues behind that were not really discussed? What are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 081 0764 1679 090 241 You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. This conversation is about family, consent, marriage, and every other thing in between, because we say we're Africans, we have values, we have morals, and when things like this come up, we then remind ourselves that we are adults, we are adults who make decisions. So where do you guys stand? What are your thoughts on this video? Nima, would you like to start before I bring in every other person to say their own thoughts?
So I saw the letter, I had read it, and I was even irritated by it. I feel that it's demeaning to, house a person or ostracize a person as beneath you, which is what I interpreted that letter to be. As a Muslim, the only consent a man needs is that of himself, his conviction to marry any woman. It's women who needs the consent of family because they need the protection of family against any man. That's the way Islam arranges it. So as a woman, if I go on to marry any man, I need the protection of my brothers, I need the protection of my fathers as to that. So I need the permission. That's as a first-time wife marriage. As a divorcee, you're standing well on your own. You need only your convictions and that of maybe if you have a male child or someone, you know, to go ahead and be happy. And so I see two adults, I don't care their ages, the difference in their ages, two grown adults deciding to get married, and this letter annoyed me. It was taken down from the blog I saw it on immediately, because when I tried to comment there, it said this post had been taken down. I appreciate that. And then an audio surfaced.
We'll come to this in a second. Let me get your thoughts on the issue that happened, and I'll come back to the audio. Mariam, want to jump in here? The press release and...
Yes, the press release. I found it strange. I mean, it's 21st century. I'm so sorry because I understand the place of family. I understand the place of tradition. But I also understand that, you know, as important as, you know, tradition and family is, when it comes to matters of marriage, really the consenting adults, you know, take, you know, prominence. So what they decide, you know, is finally what happens. There's nothing wrong really with a family disagreeing with your choice, but not to the point where they make it public. You know, it looked like you shamed both children because you were not in agreement with what, you know, with them choosing each other. The fact that her age or the age difference was brought up, for me, was a way to, these are conversations you can have in your home. Now, given the family, because the way that they're being shown is as if they're such a big and powerful family and with strong traditional ties. And so who was the message meant for? Was it meant for their other traditional co-friends? Why didn't they send letters to them, you know, directly? Why did they have to make it a public letter? So I'm waiting for, you know, as the conversation unfolds, to find out if this person is a criminal. Because another thing is, did they find out one or you know, one of them is a criminal? Is someone a murderer among them, a thief? You know, things like that. That's the sort of thing I expect the family to say, we have no business, you know. But if it's just because we don't like this person, if it's about age difference and it's not a matter of, oh, she's marrying a minor or she deceived this minor, then I thought it was unfair. It was just unfair.
What are your own thoughts on the
First of all, I just saw the name. I'm like, are they like a royal family? Because this is sort of thing you hear when you watch The Crown. When something like this happens, somebody has to come, and maybe the queen now comes out to make a statement that we disagree or we agree or we are not with this person and all of that. And even at that, I didn't see the letter necessary to go public. There's nothing like, you know, washing your dirty linens. Also, we talk about how people take their matters to the public, and we expect that for you to be like a big family, royal family, you should know better than embarrassing your children. That's what I saw. And, you know, I also felt they took this public because she was known. She was a celebrity. If she was a regular girl out there, who would they be reporting to on social media? Nobody. So this was more like, let's embarrass her. We don't like her enough for our son, but let's come out there and embarrass her so that her people will see all these pictures she's posting. Let's you know, let's squeeze her, let's push her down, let's bring that shame. I didn't think it was necessary. I also heard that, you know, the traditional marriage was really carried out, but the father was not involved because he was not with his wife. He was divorced, but the mother in question was in support of the marriage. So if a woman, the mother who bettered the, you know, child, had gone ahead to say, I'm in support, after all, I raised this boy, this is not what you should bring to the public. Where were you when she was making all the sacrifices and raising her son? It's something that you should even hide your head and, you know, find a way to handle it secretly or within the family. So I didn't understand the letter. I felt it was just a show of, you know, power. Let's frustrate this girl. Let her people see that this her marriage, this her fairy tale is, we are not in support of it.
So for my own interpretation of what I saw, because I know the Cole family very well, it's a huge family in Lagos, and I also know that from the audio that Nima was going to refer to, the man was specific. It wasn't, there was nothing against, for me, There was nothing against the person.
Okay.
Nobody's saying you shouldn't marry whoever you choose to marry. But there are certain procedures that the family, that even your elder ones have gone through. And again, in Yoruba culture, it's not A and B that are married, it's family. That's why they're going to find out who are they from. That means they investigate, go and find where is the family from, where are they coming from, let us know each other. So they're not meeting A and B and getting married because you're adults, which would have been the perfect, the nice, modern way of looking at things. But in this family, especially not coming from a family that has royal ties. So according to the father, he was summoned from the palace, saying that, listen, why are we seeing pictures of our son getting married? You didn't inform us. And it's like he was getting from all the various families from different states. So he now had, so I guess maybe that was probably the need for him to put out that disclaimer, which although was wrong, was still wrong.
Unaware of this relationship.
Saying that so he's saying that we're not aware there's a marriage, because according to what he's saying is that you wanted to call us for a family, to come and meet your family in February. We tried to, unfortunately, your family was not available, they gave us May. We're waiting for you to tell us May to come, and suddenly we now see a video. That's what he said. We don't even know the other side. There are different sides of this story.
Tradition very well, and I understand the importance of marrying families. I do. But I also understand that at anger, your son will not be bringing home a wife, even an illegitimate child, and all you do is get angry and scatter ground. Releasing statements. It's too formal. You're distancing to yourself. Now, in that audio, the person that recorded the audio, God is waiting. God knows the address. Then
God save us from wicked people.
God save us from such friends, But in that audio, he revealed too much.
What did he say?
It was a personal audio. Remember, it wasn't supposed to be for the public.
It was supposed to be for the public. But even to that person, he was too angry and expressed too much. Now, this audio has gone viral, so we'll talk about. In the audio, he expressed that he knew about this girl 7 months back.
Okay.
Wofai is a public figure. She's been in the public for long, forever, and never had controversy. I so love her personality. She's a hardworking chef, runs her small businesses.
Talk about the audio. You're building case.
We're addressing it point element by element.
Okay.
You say you heard about it 7 months ago. You, as the Cole family, are investigating somebody that is not hidden. She's not there under the rocks now. She has a public personality.
Yes, she does.
What you can't investigate rich like that? The bastard in their family. Or all the way to their family, criminal in their extended family. That's what you're investigating. You're investigating the girl who is going to marry into your family, not our entire family, because if each family get their closets, if we enter Cole family closet,
will not marry.
we don't go close to wardrobe. So we know everybody has their own. The girl
in her family have their own discretion of what they're investigating.
No, don't take it too far.
No, you can't determine what's
Don't
too far.
take it too
Because
far.
no,
You
cannot determine what's too far.
Can we find out what
content of this video?
Wait now, this is too far in the sense that at some point within this investigation, they don't summon this boy.
Okay.
He, at the palace, the father admitted, he begged. I have made a decision. Badimi, please accept. He begged and apologized at that palace.
You're not there.
No, now they reveal and me here Yoruba way. He said it in the audio. The father said the boy was also summoned along with him at the palace. The son did not stand over him. He said it in the audio. He said, my son apologized and begged.
So why didn't he accept?
He did not. Say that they want to take their time to go there, to do what? Now, remember, he admitted in that audio as well that he separated from the boy's mother 20-something years ago. In that audio.
Could that be the reason why
Now,
he's upset?
Because the boy is not carrying his mother's name. You are still your father's son. So there's still that attachment of, okay, daddy has to be aware. Especially, I told you a story of my own family member. This person has been out of the country for gazillion years. She and her father, her mother and her father have been separated for this gazillion years. When she was about to get married, where's she going to find this man? We found the man, they picked him up from the bar where he was, carried the man, dressed him up, showed him up. Yeah, come on, come on.
She chose to respect him.
It was important.
From this your story now.
Yes.
This man that you picked up now comes there to say no.
we are
People
not-
have not come to pay the vet. This marriage cannot hold.
It's a
What will
conversation
happen?
between the families. That's why your family that is marrying family.
How long ago? This
So
was-
you cannot,
what
cannot
I'm
determine
hearing-
on this table
Okay, so
what a family requires
Okay, no
to get
problem.
for marriage to happen. Because we don't know what your own family, what it requires for your husband to do.
Whatever the requirements,
Yes.
whatever the requirements are,
Yes.
what I see here is that the way he has handled it seems that there's still animosity between him
And his
ex-wife. Because if she was staying in the house with them and they did not follow the requirements to the T, there's a way he would have handled it.
Different
So he has
ways.
carried his anger of
Possible.
breaking up with the boy's mother to spoil everything. That's what he's done.
That's a possibility.
So that's
Even
one.
possibly.
See,
Let me add one.
secondly, this conversation of having to go and look for a family member that was not part of your life, had nothing to do with your education, and how you were feeding
difficult.
morning and night. We've had these conversations many times. We've seen it. And many Nigerians have been studying, we've been studying up to this sort of culture where we're giving respect to whom respect is not due. If you were not part of this boy's growing up, you had nothing to do with how he was raised. If a single mother, put in all her energy and everything to bring up a child, then at the point of marriage, you want to come and be showing shoulder.
Come and show gra-gra.
Uncle, please, calm down. Except if that's not the case. But if that's the case, but for him to have, the way the story is being told is as if the mother agreed. He respected his mother enough to go ahead with it
on the audio.
without
answer your
checking
question
the
from
father.
the audio. To answer your question from your audio, the audio said that their family, he has married plenty wives.
Okay.
As he is
Show to
standing,
him.
he has plenty be today for marriage. That all their children,
He's a
wherever they are,
professional.
they care for their children. That no child is left outside. So there's no way that this boy was raised by the mother. He's definitely he was raised by the son, by the
at the
father.
palace shows that he was involved in the boy's
Exactly.
life. But this strictness, all this, my rule, my family, might be why the mother did not stay.
Now, they not
Okay,
believe
we
he was
come
involved.
to that. Let me go on a break. I want us to hear you
Go
properly.
on your break and
So
come
when we
back.
go on the break, we'll come back. I know that you like this kind of talk.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this Cole family issue. It's all over social media, and we just thought it was an important conversation to have, especially because he's hot and he dwells on family, tradition, principles, love, age, the whole works. Nima, you're going to say something before I go on.
So the audio is also revealing too many things that are unresolved. And I think on this particular point I'm going to make, I want to move to the side of the father. He explained in that audio that, there's a child in the UK that his cousins and brothers are assisting to raise, belonging to the boy, to the man in this marriage now. And he says that matter hasn't been sorted. Meaning that, you've not had that together. So maybe he doesn't feel confident in the boy or in the man moving on with another family. And so he would have loved that, all of these issues were brought and tabled out. Maybe for the
That's
new
the
wife.
same boy.
Yes. To
Maybe
understand.
he's even connected to that. The mother of the other child. It's possible that the father is
Yes, maybe that's
sentimental
yes.
to the mother
But
of the other child.
but that is an important issue for me. You can't have a child and that things are not really neat about.
Neatly
And
tied
then,
up.
Yes,
Then
and
you
then you
move.
just move on with another person. Sometimes when couples are in love like that, they don't have time to assess and completely understand these issues. They say where adults, elders sit down, they look. If you can climb tree, you can't
No
see
go
it.
see 'em.
So the father probably has this in thoughts. But I would have still, this is an entirely private matter as far as I'm
shouldn't
concerned.
come
All
out.
families have their tradition. In fact, when I got married, one of my uncles came and was like, why are you people making it a Lagos affair? We are from Edo, we are proud of this and that. And he went on and on about my father's late brother. And he wouldn't stop. He had been called on the phone. My father said, no, somebody has come and we are doing the nikah. He said, So when he came for my walima was a year after my nikah, year plus. So my uncle came for the walima and said, this walima cannot hold. I was like, uncle, on to waiting now, And he was like, ordinarily, your husband, knowing from the same culture that we are from, he should have gone round all family members. I said, so we'll travel to Abuja on whose bill? I was really irritated because the way tradition does is that, yes, he is supposed to travel and myself, to
Round.
visit. But the people in Lagos
Give
are
them
visited.
drinks.
You don't do. You know, to add the people in Abuja, the people in how many people money will we use for this money? Because unlike you Yorubas, nobody puts money together for an Edo person wedding. Oh, your term. My husband is supposed to be a man, and to show that he's a man and foot his entire wedding bill.
Yes.
So when you add that, I spoke up.
You're not ready.
So on this table, on this table, we always talk about culture, tradition, how we can hold our traditions where we're from. And this is a man saying, listen, we are from part of the royal family, like 3 different families coming together. I can't be summoned by the palace that there's a wedding going on in one of our sons, and
I'm not aware.
I'm not aware. Maybe that was what pressured him to do. Although I agree that his disclaimer was totally unnecessary. But maybe because of the pressure he was getting from his house, also family members saying, let me just push it out there so that they know that I am not part of this. So because we don't know the origins of these things.
Yeah, so the right thing is to push it to the family. That's why you're a man. As you know, Mbelere Jama Dike is in tough times that you see a man. Your character speaks when tough times happen. Push it to the family, have that conversation there, sort it there. So what I hear from the little understanding I had of the audio is that he wasn't, you said he said too much. I don't think he said enough. I don't think he said the real things that bothered him. And I also do not think that he's in alignment with the personality of the lady in question, just that he didn't want to mention that. So, there's a way you can walk around the excuses. It's because of this, we did not do this right, we did not do that right. It's also possible that he doesn't have a good relationship with his son. It's also possible that he has rejected this lady in question, and his son is saying, I have to go ahead, because according to some of the, the eyewitnesses, they said even the twin, the boy is a twin, the twin sister supported the marriage. The mother was there. So why is the father not aware if he had that relationship with his son, right? And I see this as his ego is very big. Yeah. He's trying to manage his ego. Like, he was bruised. That's why he's not taking this lying down. So let me speak out to let them know this is tradition. But sometimes when it comes to issues of love with 2 grown adults, sometimes you soft pedal on some of the cultures. There are some things you would just let go. The one that happened in my own, marriage, where the egos were flying. In fact, they nearly threw blow. The 2 father-in-laws. Egos were flying up and down. And in my head, I'm like, can't somebody just mellow? This is the happiness of these young people. Mellow and support them. They already are going to be facing challenges that life will bring to them. Don't add your own. Don't be their enemy. Mellow and support them. He's a full-blown man. And for the other case where he has not really sorted out his other life with another woman, that's where I'm a bit afraid for Wofai, right? Because I know that in situations like this, because somebody has given birth for him, there will always be ties somehow. And if he's not emotionally mature to handle it, she may find herself in problem,
for her to accept Mary. I'm sure they've ironed that out between 2 adults.
Accept in the beginning till the realities hit and you're not seeing clear. No, I'm not talking about you. The husband was mature to handle it.
But we don't know.
For a 30-year-old man to be marrying a 38-year-old woman, there must be some maturity in it. Okay. A 38-year-old woman will not be running around a little boy that, that does not be. And we have some really young boys who show some sort of maturity. The audio that I heard, I just think it was a father just being quite frustrated and was venting to his friend. The part where he says, he has a child outside, I just think he was looking for any excuse to justify his own behavior by putting out that statement. My problem for me is not the tradition or what was required. My problem was how he handled his own part, where he felt that he was not respected or his own choice was not respected. Your son has said, this is the person I want, and if for some reason you're not ready to accept that person. I mean, adults, we get to the point where we know that our children will make some decisions. No matter how much we hate it, we understand that they would live with the consequences. But you still hope that they are making the right choice for themselves. You are hoping that, even though I disagree, I hope I am wrong for your sake. And so if you come with that love and that respect for your child and wanting the best for your child, there's a way you handle things, not to rubbish your child and rubbish the decision.
Also, I think that's the error in which what he did.
Also, for the sake of family, he's a Yoruba man marrying into an Efik-Abi Bibio background. The entire traditional marriage was on the Bibio side. You can say, okay, because we are the Cole family. That's where the bragging comes. Because, you show wedding is a statement. You don't show up there. When they come to Lagos, you redo the wedding. Kilo day. You will show the ABB people how it is done. When they come here, you say, no, my wife, you have come, welcome. But that what you people do is for your people there. Welcome to
our own.
Now you have come into the Yoruba culture. Your Yoruba wife will host you, will welcome. That everybody that attend that way, including the person that recorded call, they will be pepper, them gang, all of that.
That was not his problem.
No,
not about pepper.
no, because just a point. I'm saying there's remedy. I'm saying there's a second chance. I'm saying that it can't be all. As a parent, you see your eye go see. You see these kids we're all raising. We're all praying that is the protocol and the manual we give them that they will follow to the end.
Just like Mariam said, they might not follow it.
Yeah, they might
You
not.
know, it's okay. And you pray as a parent to be wrong.
Yeah.
At the outcome and you pray that I pray I'm wrong. It said in my own culture that me or Timawo. That when it comes to the issue of marriage, it is about the man's choice and not that of family.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you pray that someone pick where from each family. But when it comes to issues of heart, you will see where his heart leans.
Yeah.
It might be to that your enemy that you have sworn that never, not in this life, will it be. Your child's heart will lean. You'll be forced.
But there was a prayer I saw. Somebody was saying that, you see, for a father who is about to give his daughter out in marriage to a man who, your father is not here, I'm only seeing your mother. I'm not seeing any male figure in your family.
That they rent
I'm just telling you that the reasoning of a man who is about to give away his daughter to a man that doesn't come with family. So I hear you are from Lagos. Oh, welcome. And where's your father? Oh, he's in Lagos. Where's your grandfather?
I totally agree with you.
So even you as a man, shouldn't you resist handing my own precious child to somebody that I'm just handing you over to a boy?
You have hit goal.
You have to come with family.
You have hit goal.
In
African custom.
Yes.
On the woman's side. On the woman's side. I was handed over to my father-in-law, not my husband. On the woman's side, it's always about her safety, her acceptance on the woman's side. So I think that you're correct. The family on the woman's side played too little on this.
Yes. Because it could be an idea. Because, okay, I'll let you answer in a second. Because when my father was late when I was getting married. The pastor will ask you, to who is giving her this child to? My brother stood up. Say, I am the one handing her over to her husband.
Yes, now.
So it's more about the protection.
Yes, now,
so the same thing. You know, the man died. The man never died.
Okay,
Man's alive.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So there are two scenarios.
Yes.
They may have these questions that you've just raised as
Yes.
well, but they also understand that their child is an adult and has insisted that I don't care, this is the person that I'm going to marry. And she came with her they came with the mother. So it's not as if no family showed up. And also in preparation towards marriage, you will have conversations. Maybe they know for some reason that the father is not pleased with the choice of their daughter, but the son has shown that he still wants to be.
And you will let your daughter go somewhere that the
Oh,
father
auntie, yes.
It's not about you
because it's not about you letting. We've talked about it. You can be upset as you want, but if she's made her choice at 38, auntie, there's nothing you can do. Secondly, for those of us that grew up with single parents, single family, because the father died and all the family members abandoned us, what are you supposed to do? To go and dig them out from wherever they are to please you? If you know me enough and love me and know my story, you will not be asking me to go and be looking for any father. In fact, you'll be insulted.
But they know the story.
I'm saying you'll be insulted on my behalf if somehow they showed up at that time. So there are different stories. There's context. And for me, what I say, and I wish Wofai all the best, he's a 30-year-old. Men are known to be a little not as mature as the girls. I hope he is more mature, understanding that how they're going into their own, they're going in with a lot of issues. I hope he's mature enough to be able to work
Can I
with
say
this journey
something?
with her.
So how they do it in my place is if the father is not going to be available for whatever reason, an uncle will be present. So I'm sure that woman may have gone with her brother or,
No, it's not in their place. So.
No.
In the Yoruba custom, no, it's not in her brother's place.
To hand the child over.
When the father is not unknown.
Okay, so my culture now.
Now,
if
the
your
papa
father is not going
the
to
father
be able
brother.
to come, you will come with. The idea is that you have elders who know that this is happening and who are willing to support
They
you.
might be
So your
imposing-
mother,
imposing.
people used to buy. In fact, we've heard stories where they could not get father, they could not get anybody. They went to go and rent people and say, this is uncle, this is auntie.
Why?
And
Why?
they got married. The bottom line is, we like to place so much emphasis on tradition, and some people have.
So we choose when we want to.
No. No, we need to see. We're
Tradition is
evolving.
tradition.
Tradition is tradition, right?
No, we
So
choose.
sometimes some traditions don't serve us. to a long extent. Now, some marriages that have gone with their father and everything collapsed even before they got to their destination. Some marriages that father was not present, they are still happily married today. So you now miss out on the joy you are supposed to have because you are holding on to, we have to dig up this father and dig up. There are situations where you may not have that father present. But the reason there are situations where your father may have abandoned you and doesn't want to have anything to do with you. Are you going to say this person should not marry because there's no father?
Why elders insist on certain things? Because they see things that we don't see.
Yeah.
So you're right. In certain situations, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But a father who is about to hand his daughter over to a family that he knows that there's issue in the house. Right now, first of all, we told them date February that they didn't show up. He said we couldn't call the entertainment in February. We now said we'll give them dates in May. For whatever reason, your father is not here. I am a bit reluctant to go ahead with this wedding. Please, can I go to Lagos and go and see him and find out what is going on? I want to meet your father to be sure, because my child is about to go to your family. She's not going to be bearing my name anymore. She's going to be bearing Cole. I need to be sure that where that child is going to, she's been received. If not, carry my child, stay my house. So if I was the father of the daughter, I will make sure. I'll go and see the father and say, what is going on here?
I have 2 instances.
Well, until we hear from them,
two very close instances, and I apologize ahead to these loved ones about their background. So I had a friend whose father rejected much at birth, and his mom showed up. That's the other side. His mom showed up and said, I will take the child. She's a spitting image of his mom. And so when she was about to get married...
That's the grandmother.
Yes, the grandmother. And when she was about to get married, for the respect that his mom, who had passed at the time, you know, the family, her mother's family who had raised her, they were more than capable. You know how this Omeko and these people do. They were more than capable to handle their business. You know, but they showed that respect and extended, you know, invitation to his side. So when his mom passed, his brother had kept that relationship also. And so they gave them their corner at the wedding. They were giving. So there was a point where they wanted to do it at the traditional ceremony where they wanted to do an handing over, and the uncle said, I know that this is not because of the way the history of everything that's happened, but this is our right. You know, and we have shown up. And so, you know, at that point, we saw some kind of mediation where the family who had raised her was made to say, okay, this is the paternal father. Her father wasn't there. He couldn't have even shown face because of the way things have been handled. But his family had earned their right to show face.
Can I give you a little scenario? Yes. So after my traditional marriage, because of what happened in Delta State, my daddy wanted to come to Lagos. So he didn't show up for my wedding. And I knew already, he had told me he wasn't coming for my wedding already.
Because of the issues?
Yes, they fought. It was a big fight, you know. And those Lagosians, now, that's my in-laws, were waiting for him to come so that they will show him.
And he didn't show.
And I know my father would not show. So I had already spoken to my stepfather that you would stand in for me. And I don't know for whatever happened, because I was lodged in a hotel with my bridesmaids. My mother called my father that morning. You know, they've been separated for as long as I know. Called my father that morning. I said, where are you? Are you not coming? And he said he has no hand in the marriage, oh. He has no hand in the marriage. In fact, nobody should call him. He's not showing up. He has no hand in the marriage.
Wow.
And then my mother called, instead of calling me to tell me what my father has said. So that I would say, but we've already had a conversation that this man, why are you calling him now? He said he's not coming. We have settled him. He has collected diary. We are good. You know. She called my husband and said, my father isn't coming. And so this wedding should be cancelled today. Shebi, you are a sticker for tradition. What should I have done?
I'm just saying that.
No, I'm just saying in these scenarios we're playing, what should I have done? If you were me, what would you have done when your mother says this marriage will not hold? Shebi, if I don't go house, when I go cancel and you no go hold, Abi. I told everybody to go to hell. I'm already married. And I had already done my traditional. I'd already had my certificate from court. I was legally married. That marriage I wanted to do was respecting my parents, which was not, I didn't even need to do it, but I just wanted to do it. So I told everybody to go to hell. My husband told everybody to go to hell. And we went ahead and did. In fact, I wanted to enter bike with my wedding gown before my brother now came with the car to take me. I entered bike with my bridesmaids. That was how crazy I got. Because I'm like, we people know what happened. We've already had this conversation. Why are they calling?
But you see, that in that situation, that not everybody is like Obiajulu. Not everybody has that number one. Secondly, the truth is that I hear you, and you made the right decision in the context of what happened. However, the reason why certain traditions are there is for certain reasons. is because in future, now by God's grace, both families are united.
Yeah.
But there are some situations whereby from that day, both families are separated.
No, they were separated, but they came
Wait,
back.
wow.
Let me add something. Who protects the adults in question from the craziness of the families if they're crazy?
Yes.
So we always pray that we have good families that understand.
Yeah.
But if you were born in a family where both sides
Egos
are
are just-
crazy,
yeah.
egos, they cannot handle their ego. Which tradition protects the child?
Exactly.
If you are not willed as I am to stand up for yourself,
That's a
which
worthy
tradition
question.
protects the child
that's-
or the young adults?
That's why marriages are for matured people.
Exactly.
Because you want to protect your spouse against your family and their egos. It will come. Me, I'm even grateful. It wasn't from my parents' side. But some uncles are not. I said one auntie was in front of the car when I came back from the wedding reception to carry my things. So the tradition is that they will come home, they will gather the things, they will pray, then they will sing some traditional things. But we are not in the village. We are in Lagos. If it was in the village, my husband is even from the same village, they will even blow this, they will throw this improvised something. They will do it. We did it for my sister-in-law when we went to marry her from the same culture.
Okay.
And so that would have been done. But we're in Lagos. Why are you making things complicated? One auntie jumped in front of the car that they cannot move. I told the driver, I said, push her aside. Let's be going. You have to stand up.
So that's the maturity part.
To your people.
Let me take this call.
You know, if
Good
you're
morning,
ready.
you're live. Thanks for calling, you're live. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mariah.
Good morning. Very well. Go ahead, please, Eniola.
Okay. I want to appreciate you ladies there for doing a good judgment to the topic online. Unfortunately, we do not have a man around to balance the, gender formation. Or notwithstanding. Well, let me contribute this way. Royalty marriage, is quite different from ordinary marriage.
Go ahead. We can hear you, Eniola.
Okay. Royalty marriage is quite different from an ordinary marriage. And when you are from the royal family, there are lines of actions that are already online in the palace for you to follow. You don't consider somebody who is ordinary like me if I want to get married. I might not need anybody's consent. But when it is royal, you have to consider that you are no longer an ordinary person. For instance, the moment a president becomes the president of the country, is no longer of his own. All his details are ordered by the state. So also when you are from a royal family, the same thing. Now, even in the Bible, right, the God brought Eve to Adam. Eve did not bring himself. You must have a place of parent in your marriage, right? That is number two. Number three, now, the man that wrote the letter, the Cole family, is a very big family. That letter is not for now. It's for the future. Whatever seed that comes from that marriage has to contend in the future for that throne, because it has already written that marriage is not recognized. And if that guy did not, find solution to that issue now, it's going to affect his own lineage of generation on that throne of course. So you have to take note of that, right? So as to embarrassing the lady or not embarrassing the lady, I thought that what's supposed to do is to bring the two families together and resolve first before, going on public. I condemn the aspect of going on public anyway. But I think when it comes to royal marriage, you don't just do it anyhow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for. So that's another angle we've not.
But I don't like
talked
that.
about.
But I don't.
Of the
I want
seeds
to ask.
contending.
I also want to ask, if you come from a royal family and you want to go ahead with a partner that your royal family disagrees with,
How do you do it?
how do you do it? Because there are some
Ima
people
is
who
on
are
this table,
there are some
always
people
shouting, Benin culture.
Well, because there are some people.
picking outside, though.
There are
We
some
choose
people.
when we want to
picking
we
outside,
choose when we want to do
No,
tradition.
I'm
There are some people who have
We choose.
actual. There are some people who have actual crowns that they have removed the crown and dropped it for them.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
And I've
Go
gone
with their
down
love.
with their-
No, and
yeah,
so it goes back to the maturity.
So
we
what
choose.
we're saying really royalty or no royalty, everybody's royalty in their own homes. I mean, we all have to talk to our... It's true.
You're belittling
No. That's what I'm doing. What I'm
now.
doing is that I'm giving respect to whom respect is due. Even our fathers and our mothers, they are our own kings and queens in our homes. And we give them the respect. What I'm trying to say. That you say I'm an ordinary person, I don't have to seek consent from anyone is what I'm trying to address. You seek consent even from your father and your mother. But there will come a point where your parents may disagree with you, and then you have to take a stand. And many of us have said, oh, some people have not been able to take that stand because, oh, they are mommy's boys, or they listen too much to their family, and so they make the mistake of not going ahead with someone that they love. And when someone is able to stand up for it, it's like you're showing no respect.
These are exceptions to the
No,
rules,
they're not exceptions. It's just how life is. And then when you do go ahead, to follow your love partner, they say you're not giving respect to your family. All I'm going to say is that when you're an adult, you're allowed to make your mistakes. And also, I hope that the family, when they realize that they have made a mistake, they would turn around also and ask for apologies.
Hopefully we can wrap up very soon because we're going to bring in our guests. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. We're going to be wrapping up right now. Let's take a few comments and then we wrap up on the show.
Okay, I want to take the general. The general is really upset, and I have to take this. He says to Nima, he says, for the first time in over 3 years of watching your program, your platform is helping to destroy an African culture. It is wrong not to carry and inform your family as you plan a marriage. Miriam Longe, British Royal has cut off one of their princes. Don't you see what is happening among the British royal? Be careful of impinging on the traditional royalties. Diana's deviation is making her children to still suffer today. And goes ahead to say, how does divorce of parents stop a son from carrying his family along as Africans that we are? Gaskia, una don't fall my hand today.
May I reply, General, that, okay, as important as tradition is, because I will not sit here and it will be made to seem like, we are destroying tradition. I am for tradition. But I am also for reasonability.
And evolving.
As a parent, as an elder, you don't sit in the market and the baby's head go bend. And it should not be you who is bending the head. I am saying, yes, let's assume they didn't follow tradition, but is it unremediable? Is it totally beyond repair?
Unredeemable.
Or redeemable? Is it totally beyond repair? It is not. To put out a statement that, can be captioned, even though taken down later, and kept somewhere for the records of your grandchildren is something I don't support. And even, no matter how upset you are, as an elder, you don't say your grandchildren, because of a letter, would have to contend. You don't know the future. You don't know that child who will feed you. We know tradition. We all know that, African elders they have foresight. They see beyond a child and their child's choices. And you should not be the one to be acting immature. Leave tradition. Somebody puts those traditions on the ground. And it was meant to serve a purpose. And when that purpose is no longer servable, you move on to other traditions.
Unfortunately, I had a response as well. We have to wrap up on the show. But let's go on a break now because our guest is here and time is running out. So I think, but in a nutshell, really, the truth is that this is a private family situation. The disclaimer or the press release was not needed at all. I think we all agree. We also understand and respect family tradition and culture. At the same time, we also say culture is evolving. People are changing, things are changing. I like what BC said earlier that, yes, even culture suppresses and supports family. But when families are going crazy, how does culture and tradition support us, the young people, the person, the individuals in question? So these are all conversations that's why culture must continue to evolve no matter how we look at it. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll bring in our guests. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
thanks for staying with us. Our guest is a special guest from Ghana. She's the founder of Collage Media, producers of Glitz Africa magazine, a premium and aspirational lifestyle publication which seeks to highlight the lifestyle of contemporary African women. She's also United Nations Ghana and Ghanaian Tourism Ambassador for Fashion Development with a passion and deep concern for welfare of women, children. Welcome with us, Claudia Kwateng-Lumo. Hey. How you doing?
I'm fine,
Good to
darling.
have you here in
Good
Nigeria.
to have.
So how could you come around to Nigeria?
Okay, so Nigeria is like a second home to me. I have a lot of great friends that have been friends of mine for over 8 years.
Oh, nice.
So I do come to Nigeria quite a lot, but I think since COVID, I haven't been here. I am missing my Nigeria in me. but I have a platform called the She Boss. It's a business networking for women. And we do it in Ghana. We've done it for about 7 years in Ghana. I do it in London as well. And I'm looking to host one in Nigeria. So that's what really brought me. But then the excitement part of meeting all my friends that I haven't seen in years was like, yeah.
So you haven't done it? You haven't gone ahead to do it?
No. We're doing it. We're doing it third quarter. So yeah, it was a year.
Tell us a bit about yourself. I mean, what you do, and
Okay, so I'm also a mother. I've got 3 children. So I heard you talking about, I've got a 13-year-old son who's taller than me. And you know what, my son actually turned 9 today, my last son turned 9 today, so I had to do the birthday thing on the video call. But that's what mothers we do, right? We travel, working moms, so I have a girl and two sons. And then I started Glitz Africa in Ghana. I was in the UK, and I moved back home to Ghana. I started the magazine 13 years ago. Wow. And I think my passion is really when we're telling great stories of, iconic women who are doing things and touching lives. And I love to tell great stories in a very tasteful way. So that's what I set out to do with the magazine. And we've actually featured a lot of women from Nigeria as well. So we did that, and then I launched the Ghana Women of the Year honors, which I thought, Africans, we're doing great, but I felt like we're not doing much celebrating our own. And as somebody that mentor a lot of young people, when I meet young people when I was in Ghana, and people were saying, I want to be like Oprah, and I felt, we have our own operas in Africa. So why aren't we telling the stories of our own operas? And I think that really motivated my storyline with the magazine. And then we have the She Boss, which is what I'm trying to host in Nigeria as well. And then I do the Ghana Female CEOs Summit, which bring top females, about 250 together, from politics, from business, from entrepreneurship. It's very high-level, powerful room as well. And then I have the Fashion Week. Wow. So Glitz Africa, I'm sure that's what Nigeria knows more because, because we bring a lot of Nigerian designers that come in, from Maya Tafu, all of them, Tobo, they've all been to Ghana on this platform before. So it's the Glitz Africa Fashion Week that we host every year in October. And then the Glitz Style Awards. So that's what I do. And then my humanitarian side, I'm also a UN Goodwill Ambassador in Ghana, which I've done for about 6 years. And that is really close to my heart because that's really the core and the essence of what I love doing, really being there and supporting and being there for women and children because it's a United Nations Population Fund, which is for women and children. And I've been their Goodwill Ambassador in Ghana for that long. And I recently also stood for a parliamentary seat in Ghana. So, so it's a lot of things that happens with me, but that's a nutshell.
So I'm thinking, what days of the week do you use? The same as us? Doing many things. But hearing you talk, you've just all the questions I was going to ask, you've answered them ahead. But what would you say gives you so much, all the things you've done? What would you say has been like what you're most proud of since you started?
I think, when women say this, it will be a bit of a cliche, but even yesterday, I had a sister friend, Nigerian friend of mine, that we had breakfast, and I was telling her that, for everything I've done, seeing my 3 children grow up, it's something very special. And I was telling her that, it's not even, I feel like women, it's not even just carrying the pregnancy, even if it's a child that you've adopted, the fact that you are seeing, you're looking after something, they were like this. They were started like this, just a few, you know, and now to see them growing, and you feel like God has given you that responsibility to look after something tiny like that. I think that's the most beautiful thing for me. That's my most pride as a woman. So yeah. And then, I mean, with all the things like, you know, when I moved to Ghana 12, 13 years ago, we didn't really have a fashion industry. We didn't have all of this bubbly, you know, Nigeria was way ahead of us with, you know, fashion, beauty and all of that. But Glitters was the platform that really championed that industry. And now to see that growth, I think it gives me so much joy in Ghana.
Yeah, so I'm appreciating everything that you do. When I read your profile, I'm like, okay, all right. These are the people. These are the ones who are making it. These are the ones who are not allowing society to put them in a box.
Absolutely.
So we're lazy in a way that they want to fit you somewhere, so it's easy to identify. But you've broken, and some of us are breaking out of all of those cliches that I can be this, that, and be cool and be happy and be okay. And I'm happy with that because I feel like I'm talking to myself, right?
Absolutely.
Now, how do you plan your time for people out there who are, you know, interested in doing more than one thing? How do you organize yourself in such a way that you're not looking worn out, you're not looking burnt out, you're looking good, sexy, ready to go? How do you manage your time, basically?
Do you know what? I just think that women should be easy on ourselves. I don't put any pressure on me because the thing too is, and I tell people and mothers that come to me is, I am not here to take a trophy of Mother of the Year or Woman of the Year. I want to be in a space where I am good enough and I'm well enough to be there for the people that take from me. Because women, our husbands taking from us, our boyfriends are taking from, our children are taking from us, our younger sisters, you know, it's a lot on us. But you need to be in a space where if Claudia needs a spa, guess what? I'm cancelling that meeting and I'm going for that spa.
You'll share.
So for me, my cup needs to be full enough to be able to give to my children, to be able to give to the people around me. So I think that what I say is, I prioritize a lot. You don't see me in Ghana, you don't see me anywhere. You know, if you ask me to come somewhere, it needs to really make sense to me. I prioritize everything, and also with my home, I'm not there all the time, but when I'm there, I'm present.
You're there.
You know, so I think that's the thing. Children don't need us to be with them all the time, but when we're there, we're present with them. So I think for me, it's prioritizing my time. And I'm very intense. I'm very intentional. You know, I joke a lot, but when it comes to work, I'm very intentional and I'm very focused. So for me, if it's 9 to 10, it's got to be that time. And it's this time, and then I make time for me, darling. Hair appointment, I won't miss it. I won't miss it. You know, when I got to Nigeria, right from the flight, the first place I went is to hair, to get hair, before I started my meetings. So that's the kind of girl I am. You know, I just really like, you know, life, we're only here once, right? Yes. So it's a good mixture of it. And then even when I take my kids for holiday, we come back and mommy goes alone for her holiday alone as well. Because I need me time. I need my time. And I go to the gym and all of that, you know, 9 p.m. and all of that.
Every minute. So we all need to refuel sometimes. I appreciate the fact that, you know, your kids are top priority. I consider my kids the greatest achievement I could have. But how do you manage the events? Because when you were listing all the things that you do, I counted about 7. I hope I didn't miss out anything. And I know that, you know, putting together a classic, you know, classy events, glamorous, the size of what I was reading from your profile, you know, it has to cost time, money, and a lot of things. How do you manage all, and how do you space them out?
I think it really takes a village to pull all of this together, and it's also trusting a team around you. So I delegate, and I delegate very well. And when I bring a team close to me, I always try to let them understand that you are here because I think you're great enough to be here. And I think as leaders, we need to be able to trust the people that we work with and hand them over a role that we watch over and make sure they deliver because sometimes I'll tell my team, you know, once you take on this, it's no more you. It's now Claudia and Glitz name on the brand. So if you take it, I'm like, is it Glitz Africa enough? If it's not, that means you're doing something wrong. So I've managed to, you know, I work with them mentally to get them to the space that they do things as if Claudia would do them. So I think as leaders, that's the bit that we can do. So working with a great team, and then also I like to give people experience. So for me, we work so hard. If I have to sleep in the office to make sure it's done, I will sleep in the office. But the outputs and at the end of it, the experience we're giving to people, I want it to be great. So I think great team is really fantastic. And then just collaboration as well. Collaborating with the right people that understand your vision and also want to achieve something great. I think
Let's talk about politics for a moment, because you were going into parliament. How
Yes.
did that come about? Somebody like you, I'm
Yes.
thinking, what were you thinking? What was that?
Was it informed by your background in law?
You know what is funny? 5 years ago, if you had asked me this, I would have said, no, I wouldn't see myself there. But I think that also the magazine allowed me to work with a lot of very powerful women, both in leadership and all of that. And then becoming a UN ambassador really got me to the grassroots, working with people that, you know, we say in the beautiful homes and everything, but then sometimes when you move away, you see the actual on the ground that's happening. So I think that working with the UN really got me to the bottom of what what things are really are, the grassroots, and I think I started developing that. And also I realized, I found my purpose and my calling through all this work. And for me, I know that when I'm touching a lot of people, when I'm doing something that is touching a lot of people, I'm on a high. It's like I'm on something. You cannot stop me.
Okay.
So I think that made me know, and also for female leadership in Africa, I don't know for Nigeria, but for Ghana, we don't have, there's still a very low number of women in politics because, we're all very worried. I mean, I don't want to go there for somebody to insult me and think that every woman in politics is sleeping up. They have all of
Certain
this
way.
tag around, and you will build your reputation so well, you don't want anybody to do that. But I feel like if God allows you to build enough maturity, mindset maturity, then some of us, if you can serve, why not? And I love this country called Ghana so much, and I've dedicated so much of my life into this community. I've groomed a lot of people, and I felt like if I can do this, why not do that? I think when it came out that I'm standing, it was like something in Ghana, because all the young people was like, oh wow, Claudia, because how do you put beauty, fashion now in politics?
Right.
And it's just really open people's mindsets with that type, that women in politics are not boxed in a certain way. Leadership is service, and you have the heart and the mind to serve people, and that's me. So yeah.
I mean, someone looking at you, you're so well, spoken, well put together.
Thank you.
And they think your life must be so easy. Were there any challenges as, you evolved, and what were those, and what would be the advice to someone watching and thinking, she has her life easy. It's not like mine.
Never, darling, never. Life can never be easy. But I think for me, I fight on, and I do not, every day is a challenge. Every day is a challenge. Even driving over traffic, everything is a challenge. But it's where you want to go that will keep you going. So for me, the result and what I'm trying to achieve really helps me to keep going. And I say all the time that I want my children, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, whenever God allows me to be on this planet, to go mommy and be so proud of what I achieved and what I did. So all of these things come together, I think make me just not see the mountain. And even the mountain is in front of me, how do I climb over it? Do I use a ladder? Do I call my sisters and say, push us together? Whatever, but we are not going to let that mountain stop us. And I think that's always been my mindset, so I would not let that challenge, because it comes. Sponsorship is not available, but we have to make this event happen. How are we going to do it? We have less money. How are we going to do it? The speakers are not coming. It's just everything that comes with running a business. But the end of the day is the results. And that really keeps me pushing and keeps me going. And if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. That's what I say.
So let's talk about the support system, because for every working mom,
you
need to have those, a battalion of angels working behind. So how is the support? How is home supporting your career? How is Oga?
Oh, yeah. You know what? My kid's dad is amazing. When I am traveling, like, he's the one, he'll do all the school pickups and everything. He's, I'm stuck in a meeting. Can you please grab Ellie from his school? Take him he's amazing with that. But also, I have one of the amazing, is it nannies that you call it, babysitters. And I always say that women, it's okay. When I meet women, international women and everything, I'm saying, it's okay for you to say that I have my auntie that helps me with my children. It doesn't make you less of a mother or anything like that. Even finding, and the great thing is, my nanny now was my nanny. when I was a child.
Wow.
So yeah, I think that's a blessing for me, but it's not everybody that find the right person to be there, look after the children. But for me, I have this amazing woman. My mother, if I need her to come in and help me, she will come in. But as she said, it really takes a village. But I think we should allow ourselves as women that finding that 1-2 people that we trust in our homes to be able to support us is good enough. Because, you know, if you are mindset, if you are not, even if you're weak, the children can feel it when we're under pressure. Because we don't give them that enough love that, you know, you're not, yeah, come for the hug. They're running to, hi, mommy, and you're like, well, now, like, I can't even give you the hug. But when mommy's in a good space, even the hug when you come home is even beautiful for them, and they love that. So I think that's what I do. I have really great
This
people
big
at home.
boss thing you have, what's the she boss?
She was, yeah.
What's the vision?
Yeah, I think for me, I believe so much in collaboration. I always say that I'm not a believer of when people say women are their own enemies. I think that competition is great, but safe and beautiful competition. I see Mariah, you know, you're a great host, you're all beautiful women, great host. I cannot be a host. Doesn't mean I want to be great. I want to be a host as well. But it's just beautiful for all of us to sit in a room. And I like-minded women in a room. For me, it's so powerful. If our mothers 20, 30 years ago were in rooms like that with other powerful women, guess where they would be by now? So that's my energy. That's what I keep saying, that let's have all these women. So she's, oh yeah, absolutely. So we're looking at September for Nigeria. I will absolutely love to have all of you ladies there once I have the date out. But the whole thing is to have, it's a business networking. So for me, it's all of us touching each other on the shoulder, saying, no, you're doing amazing. You know, you pour into my life, I pour into my life. But it's a business networking. We've seen a lot of collaboration format of this when we've done it in the UK and we've done it in Ghana. And I'm hoping and that happens. And I you know, when you're a Ghanaian or outside looking into Nigeria, and that's a compliment I have to give to you. And I was telling one lady as well, she was in fashion yesterday. I said, when you look into Nigeria, in your movie industry, I see the ladies, whether I'm sure they compete with you, and they must not all love each other, lovey-dovey, but you see that they still are there for each other. You see that if one person is doing something, you see they're all behind the person. If it's music, when a musician come out, it was actually a Nigerian program that I saw a Nigerian musician singing, and all the other Nigerian musician guys, all of them were up singing the song from top. And I said, I don't see that in Ghana. You know, so I think it's something beautiful Nigerians you have, and you should really hold on to that. And I'm hoping that.
Because to us, we are divided. Well, outside, people think, outside people always think that Nigerians are when they'll stand, they'll fight together.
Yes.
You know, we are very good at fighting together.
But you show up for each other. Do you understand? You show up for each other, and I think that's the most beautiful thing. I think that's the most beautiful.
So let me ask you, because I've tried to work with a couple of women, and as much as everybody is on, not everybody, some people are on the path of personal development, so that they work on themselves in such a way that they are better people to others. What are some of the challenges you found, you know, in working with women? And how did you also develop yourself in such a way that you're able to hold space for them, especially for those who are not at par with you, maybe emotionally and otherwise?
I think working, you know, running women platform for the last 12 years, I've encountered that a lot. You know, even to the extent that I would just mentor young women that comes into my office, and all they want to do is just see how they can go and do the same thing you're doing. You know, and I've always said that but it's all mindset and building people confident and letting them understand that they're great enough to do this. Because for me, even when I've had women that in that instance where people have just copied something I'm doing, I always call them back and said, you know what? If you came to me and said, Claudia, I wanted to do this, Claudia is done. You don't want to be a copy of Claudia. You want to be an amazing copy of yourself. So I think it's just that mindset of working with people and letting them know that you are not, what's the right word? Because sometimes it's fear that makes us stop certain women. You know, we're scared that they'll become greater than us, or they will know what we're doing and do it better than us. It's that fear. But that fear is what, you know, I don't have that fear. You know, I look at people because it's also, I'm very confident with myself. The thing within me is, I do not think that what I can do, you can do better than me. You know, what I will do, you can never do better than me.
Like
and
you.
what you do, I can never do better than you. So I do not, for that reason, I'm not scared of getting people close to me and sharing with people and pouring with people. Because I also believe in the universe that the more I am pouring
The
to
more
you,
you'll get
all the doors that I access that I'm getting, why do you think I'm getting that? It's because I'm opening these doors for other people. So
But have you ever encountered women bickering, women having issues with you personally?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about people you mentor. I'm talking about people on your level who see you as competition. And what are some of those things you've picked from such?
You know what? I don't even know if they see me as competition. Because what I will say is, maybe I honestly, you know, it's weird because I'm sure they see me as competition, but I haven't encountered it face to face, you know, and I've not felt it that way. Because, you know, when you come to Ghana, everybody will tell you that, oh, Claudia, always like, if you say, oh, I need this person to do this, I'll just give you the number. I'll just call the person. So my lifestyle is not, people don't feel competition around me, you know, but I'm sure people are you know, what's the right word? Like, yeah, they feel like they're competing with me. But I don't notice them.
Good.
Is it the right way to put it?
Yeah.
I do not notice that because where I'm going, I don't think my journey is your journey.
Exactly.
You see?
Amazing.
So if you're competing with them, it's in your head. But to me, you're not competition to me. You know, it's because my journey is different. And whether I see you on the path or I don't see you, I will get to that journey. You know?
I like that. Glitz magazine. What's the feature of Glitz magazine?
So we're working to launch a digital platform because I think since COVID, it showed everybody that you can't just have a hard copy magazine. But some of us still love, you know, hard copy magazine. So we're working on the digital platform, and then we're hoping, I mean, hopefully we might turn into a television, but that's a long-term plan.
But you know, obviously you're a style fashion person, and I would like to know what you think about fashion Nigeria versus fashion Ghana.
Hey!
Average Nigerian woman.
Now, you know what? For me to come over and buy a lot of clothes from Nigeria, I should tell you that I think fashion in Nigeria is ahead when it comes to Africa. I mean, in terms of, but also I think the competition here was so big that it forced them to do great. Because if you're not great, you won't stand out. So if you're dealing with the Lanrage, you know, they all Mufa, all of them are really, and they're all very special in different ways what they do. Ghana is catching up. Ghana was a very young market with fashion. Even when I was starting, Nigeria was already great because I brought all the Nigerian designers to Ghana to inspire the industry there. So I think, Nigeria, they're doing something really great. I know a lot of people in Ghana that comes in here to study with to study with other designers here and go back to Ghana. So I give that credit to Nigeria.
Claudia,
Our jollof rice.
I was going to ask her last.
You have too many to count. Let me just take the latest 2023 Distinguished Fellowship Award, Ladies in Leadership. And you have several women in entrepreneurship and honorary awards in 2023 as well. Plenty awards. How do you feel when you get these recognitions? Because sometimes some people are working and nobody has the time to put. They don't get the the recognition that they would so desire. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think it's very humbling. It's very humbling because if Ghana says, oh, top 100 women in Ghana, you're part of it. Top 50 entrepreneurs, you're part of it. Top people, it's just very humbling. But it also makes you want to even do better because that means that people are watching what you're doing. And I think it's just all very humbling for me. And I'm not an awards person. Sometimes some of them I don't even attend them. But it's just really nice that people are recognizing the work that you're doing because my platform honor people. So I've had other people say, oh, but Claudia, you're always honoring Women of the Year. Who honors Claudia? And I said, I don't care about that. But then somehow people find also a way to tell your story, and it's like what you ladies have invited me here doing as well, sharing my journey, sharing my story. It's an inspiration for other people, and I think it's very humbling.
We're going to be wrapping up very soon, but I know that you're leaving tomorrow.
Yes.
You're out of the outdoor, but you'll be back later in the year. So Hopefully, when you come back, we'll have
It
a
will
nice
be
chat with
great.
you, but,
It will be great.
Just final words before we let you go.
Yeah.
Any final words?
Yeah, I will just say thank you to everybody and to all the women that are watching it. I will say that we've had a great conversation. I'm hoping that you pick something on it, but all I will say is just be nice to you. Just be easy on you. Life itself there's so much pressure, but we need to be here for the people that depend on us. So we just need to just take life very easy. Just be intentional with life as well. For young people, I'll say that. Social media is beautiful, but it's too much distraction on there. So for young people that are watching as well, I think that you should be very intentional with your life. You should be careful what you see and who you want to be mentored and who you see as inspiration. It's not everything that you see. Yes, exactly. But thank you all.
Are you letting her go? She didn't say Ghana or Nigerian jollof.
I ate jollof. I ate Ghana and Nigerian jollof yesterday.
Yes.
I love Nigerian jollof, but you need to understand that the Ghana jollof, there's something really special about it. We add different things that makes it really, really
Where did you eat a
different.
Nigerian jollof, first of all?
Yeah.
Because there are
Somewhere
different
VI.
degrees of this Nigerian
Your jollof. But we'll let her go on this because she gave us the fashion. So we'll give you the jollof for today.
Give me the jollof, Joe. And I'm the best jollof cooker. When you come to Ghana, When you come to Ghana, I'll cook jollof party for all of you.
That's all we can take. Thank you so much, Claudia.
Thank
for
you,
joining.
darling.
That's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a
Yes,
great day.
we
We'll see you
did.
tomorrow. Bye for now.